Hey crafters, in today's tutorial you're learning how to make two different hats with the Cricut Hat Press. This is the newest addition to my Cricut family. I loved how these hats turned out, so let's get right into today's video. So first things first, we need to open up Cricut Design Space and upload and create our images. These skeleton hands are actually from my website. I am now selling SVGs on shop.amymakesthat.com, so I will link that in the video description. It is super easy to download and upload into Cricut Design Space. The second design is my favorite hat of all time now because it says craftpreneur. I thought this was such a cool and fun way to say that I'm a small craft business owner. So I'm typing out the word craftpreneur and then I'm going to size it down, and I also adjusted the letter spacing because I liked the letters to be a little bit spaced out. Since this font is a little bit on the thinner side and I don't have the option to bold it, I'm going to actually use the offset tool. I've used this hack so many times and I have shown this in my previous Cricut hacks video. I will put the link for the card here so you can watch it. I sized it to about 3-ish inches. And that's how you create both of those designs. So now we can head over and make it. I'm going to adjust both of them on the mat. I'm using black HTV vinyl on the top for the skeleton hands, and then I'm using a brown HTV for the craftpreneur. And don't forget to mirror. The base material is going to be set to everyday iron on because we're using HTV, and that is my favorite setting. So I pre-cut the vinyl and you'll place it down carrier sheet, shiny side down onto the Cricut mat. And of course, we're using the brayer tool to really firmly adhere to the mat so the Cricut cuts it perfectly. Then we'll send it to the Cricut and the Cricut will cut the designs. And now it's time for weeding. Since this is a tinier project, I'm going to use my pin pen weeding tool. This is from 143vinyl.com and I will link that in the video description. It is a lifesaver when it comes to poking those tiny little areas of the inside of the letters. I'll use that alongside the weeder tool to weed the background. So this is my lovely hat. And now we can introduce the hat press. Oh my gosh, I am in love with this hat press. It makes heat pressing hats so much easier. And I love it so much because it comes with this little pouch. I don't know the exact terminology for it, but you're able to put the hat, the beanie, whatever hat accessory onto it firmly. So it's kind of like a little head is in the hat and you're able to heat press it perfectly. Now I can place the craftpreneur HTV onto the hat. Since it is a curved surface, I'm going to cut some little slits with my scissors onto it because it helps. So I'm going to place it on and measure it out to make sure it is even. And then I like to use my strong grip tape. This helps the design stay in place when you're heat pressing. So I'll place one piece of tape on each side and then we could get to heat pressing. So this is what the hat press looks like. It looks very similar to the Cricut machines and your regular heat press. What I love about the hat press is that you can actually use the Cricut Heat app alongside with it. The Cricut Heat app will give you everything you need to know. I'm using just everyday iron on, so I'm going to select the top one and then it's going to ask you for the material that you're using. I looked up the hat. It is mainly cotton and a poly blend, so I'm going to select that. And then it's going to tell you exactly what transfer material you need, how much time you need. It's going to give you a tutorial as well. So the Cricut Heat app is so much easier than you having to Google and be like, what temperature, what settings do I need? And then you're going to heat press the hat for 60 seconds on the medium heat. And if you use the app alongside with the hat press, it's going to send that temperature setting to the Cricut hat press. You could have easily selected the temperature button twice, but I think it's so cool to use the app alongside with it. To heat press it, I'm not using a Teflon sheet and I'm using a back and forth motion, and we'll do that for 60 seconds. And then it says to do a cold peel, so I'm going to let this cool off a bit before I remove the carrier sheet.
Few moments later.
Then I'm removing the carrier sheet and this heat pressed beautifully. I was very impressed. No letters came up. It was firmly adhered into the hat. Can't wait to wear this hat, and I hope you guys will create your own craftpreneur hats because it's so freaking cute. And the next hat that we're creating is this cute beanie with some skeleton hands. What's nice about this design is that you don't have to weed anything except for the background. Depending on how big you create your design, some of those little pieces of like the knuckles and the bones might come up. One of the knuckles did fall off, so I was able to save it and place it back on. Next, we'll use the Cricut Heat app again to press this on. This hat is technically acrylic, and I do want to give a fair warning beforehand. So I didn't look this up. When I heat pressed this beanie, it actually made the hat a little bit more thinner. Like you can see the top is very thick and fluffy. When I heat pressed it, it made it really thin. I was able to save it by damping it a bit and throwing it in the dryer. But for future reference, when you do heat press this, you can place it on the little pouch and you can place a piece of cardboard underneath that front piece. So we'll place our hat onto the pouch. What's nice about the beanie is that there's a little center line in the top of the beanie. So I was able to line the middle finger immediately with that line. I placed one piece of heat resistant tape on both sides to keep the design in place. And then I did use a Teflon sheet when heat pressing. But like I mentioned earlier, please make sure that you put some kind of cardboard or a thick piece of material underneath that front part so it doesn't get thin. And I used Softflex HTV for this, and I'm so glad I did because it really heat pressed into the beanie. You can see that the vinyl took the exact material of the beanie, and that's how you know you did a great job with heat pressing. But this is how the beanie came out. I cannot wait to wear this for the fall time. But this was the first time using the hat press, and it was so fun to use. I hope this tutorial helped. If you have any questions or comments about the hat press that I didn't answer in today's video, please share in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my other platforms for even more Cricut content from me. I hope you are having a crafty day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Sweet wine with my eyes closed. I need